There are so many more possibilities when you create your own embellishments. Hi, I'm Julie Fei-Fan Balzer, and you can customize the color, design, and style when you make your own. And that's just what I'm going to show you right now. So if you look at my layout, you can see these fabulous little, I guess they'd be flower watercolor embellishments. And I made those so you can make them any color, and it's super easy to do, and I'm going to show you how. But first, we've got to make our background. So to make our background, we're going to start just with a sheet of white cardstock. You could also use watercolor paper, a very wet brush, and some watercolor. And then I'm going for a big sloppy look here. So I am going to smack a circle right down there, very messy circle. And then in super messy handwriting, I'm going to go ahead and write the title of my page. And I don't even care about that big drop. I'm just going to go ahead and say red lip. And I just keep rotating this around. Stick day. And then I'm going to do the paint drops, which involves a very wet brush, a lot of water, and then tap, 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 tap. And you can see how I've got those splashes going across here. And of course, you want to let that dry, which is what I have done right here. But if you are a neater, cleaner person, guess what? There's another way to use watercolor, and that is it comes in a marker form. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a book page. Just a regular old book page that I ripped out of a book. And don't worry, this is a book that a library was getting rid of. No books were truly harmed in this. Nobody wanted this book anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull out a permanent pen because, again, working with anything that's watercolory, you want to use something that's not going to bleed. And all I'm going to do is a simple doodle flower. Now, why am I working on a book page as opposed to a regular piece of paper? Well, the answer is because I want the sort of fun texture and color of it. And again, watercolor is transparent, so this is going to show right through. And these are not amazing Picasso-like drawings. These are just little doodles of flowers, sort of a daisy shape. I'm making it in lots of different sizes because I want some variety. And I am always sure to just do a circle at the center. And then the petals are just loops. They can be fat, they can be thin. The number of petals doesn't matter. Sometimes there's 5, sometimes there's 4. You know, it's all imperfectly awesome. So I'm just going around, having a good time, and you can cover your entire sheet of paper with doodles of whatever kind of flower you want, and you can get real fancy if you're in the mood. And once I have some doodles, then I'm going to switch over to those watercolor markers. And these are great for travel and all sorts of things because you don't even have to think about the mess factor. So I'm going to take a yellow, a light blue, and let's go for a dark blue so I can get a kind of blendy look. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my yellow center right in the middle. And this has a nice brush tip, if you can see. And instead of using the tip of it, I actually like to use the side of it. And I do this kind of assembly line style. So I'm going to do all my centers. Okay, then I'm going to start with the darker of the two colors, and I'm actually going to open both markers because I'm going to hold both in my hand and sort of use them together because for the best blending, that's what you want to do. So I'm going to start with the dark color towards the flower center. Again, I'm using the side of that tip. Then I'm going to take the lighter color and I'm going to brush it out, and it's going to pull that darker color right across. So instead of having a harsh line, I've got a nice soft blend. And if you find that it's not blending as much as you would like, then guess what the good news is? You just go back in and it'll blend out even more. And you can just sort of go over it until you get exactly, there you go, that beautiful soft watercolor transition that you want. And don't worry at all about going over the edge because we're going to cut these out. So this is a no mistakes, no chances, just fun kind of thing to do. So I'm going to continue to color and blend using my two different colors, the side of that nib, just having an easy time. And again, the blending works best when these are the most wet, so that's why I like to just alternate between the dark and the light. And you can just keep going in. This is very flexible, it's very forgiving, it's very easy. Look at that nice soft bleed that you're getting between those two colors. Okay, so once you have done your flowers, it's time to cut them out and make something fabulous. You want to use a pair of microchip scissors or something that's going to be really give you some fine control, and then I like to cut around what I'm about to cut out. I just think it makes it a little bit easier. Now I'm not trying to cut perfectly. I'm just trying to get the general shape of the flower. Now I'm never, ever, ever gonna close my scissors because that's how you get a jagged line. Instead, I'm using the center area of the scissors and I'm simply rotating the flower through my scissors. This makes it fast and easy and it makes sure that I get a nice clean line every single time, and this is a great thing to do in front of the TV when you're relaxing, whatever it is, easy enough to cut a bunch of these out assembly line style. So there you go, I cut it out. Now, I have two here that I've cut out, a little one and a big one, and I'm gonna use a glue pen. And I like this glue pen because it has a ballpoint tip, so I don't ever have to worry about smushing it, and you can use a little area. And I'm just going to layer them together like so. You can see I have my layer right here. And then all I would do is put it onto my painted cardstock, which has had time to dry by now, of course, and lay out my photos, add some journaling, and of course a whole bunch more flowers. And I have a beautiful custom embellishment layout.